Well, believe it or not, MyPillow CEO and founder Mike Lindell actually kept his word this week when he showed up at the DNC and shaved his mustache. He shaved his mustache, of course, because he was trying to go incognito at the DNC as part of his mission to flip people from Harris to Trump. And, as you can imagine, it went about as well as we all expected it to, and it culminated with Mike Lindell yelling at a 12-year-old content creator who, by the way, verbally ended up beating the crap out of Mike Lindell. He couldn't even win an argument with a 12-year-old. Now, granted, it was an exceptionally brilliant 12-year-old, mind you, but Mike Lindell still fell flat on his face. He couldn't even convince a kid of his election lies. Here it is. This is 12-year-old content creator and activist. His name is Knowa. And he absolutely dismantled Mike Lindell to his face. Beautiful thing to see. Here it is.
That's in your state. You want to know more in your state?
So
they just found 257,000 votes. This happened last week. A judge ruled in Georgia that are missing from the 2020 election. This just came out. You're behind.
So your source is Trust Me, bro? That's your source?
The source, it's in your papers in Georgia. You need to read your news.
You haven't given me any last name.
You need to read your news. No, this is your Georgia news. This is your Georgia.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good day, sir. Let's keep walking.
At 12 years old, that young man just achieved what I wish I could achieve at age 41, which is to tell Mike Lindell off to his face in person. Absolutely phenomenal. And by the way, Knowa there, again, he is a young content creator. He was actually there at the invitation of DNC chairman Jamie Harrison. And Jamie Harrison, of course, didn't take too kindly to Mike Lindell confronting this young man. And Harrison put out on social media saying, quote, "The next time you feel compelled to yell at another young black kid, come find me." That's also pretty damn powerful because, yes, that was a very bad look for Mike Lindell, an even worse look than shaving off that ridiculous mustache. But here's the thing, and Knowa was right to point this out. He's like, your source is just Trust Me, bro? Because I did some digging into this, right? Mike Lindell claimed 257,000 ballots were found to have been thrown out in Georgia by a judge just last week. You know, more than 3.5 years after the election, this judge just stumbled upon them last week. So, obviously, okay, you've got an exact number, you've got judge, you've got Georgia, you've got the person, the location, and the issue. Should be easy to find online using those terms, right? Nope. I did some digging, and I can't find a single thing related to anything close to what Mike Lindell is saying. There's nothing that I can find that even came out of the courts in Georgia in the last few weeks about the 2020 election. Now, you would think if something like that had happened, or if there was any kind of court ruling out of Georgia about the 2020 election results, you'd be able to find it. Honest to God, the most recent ruling I found out of Georgia regarding the 2022 election was from January 2nd of this year. Again, I did a deep dive into this. There is no way at all to verify anything Mike Lindell said right there. I can, however, based on the complete lack of evidence for it, conclude that he is in fact making every single bit of that up. There is no record of anything that Mike Lindell was yelling at that kid. Oh, and for the record, if you think that's the only person that Mike Lindell yelled at, then you're also mistaken. Because as Mediaite reported, when Mike Lindell first rolled up to the DNC, gets out of his car, Rudy Giuliani is with him because Giuliani now works for Lindell. I mean, okay, I gotta take it aside here and go on a bit of a tangent. Rudy Giuliani works for the MyPillow guy. That is how far Rudy Giuliani, the former mayor of New York, the man formerly known as America's mayor, has denigrated himself so much, destroyed his reputation so much, that the only guy he can find to hire him is the MyPillow guy. And Rudy Giuliani is now the second fiddle to Mike Lindell, who's rolling around like a rock star, trying to go incognito by shaving his mustache, but then drawing more attention to himself by dressing like Roger Stone. I mean, honestly, Mike Lindell looked like a Batman villain, which is what Roger Stone typically looks like. But anyway, back to the main point here. When Lindell rolled up to the DNC, he gets out of the SUV, Rudy Giuliani's right behind him, and he immediately starts arguing with Harris supporters, like yelling at them. Yeah, according to Mediaite, it was a nasty, nasty situation. Got to the point where Lindell's security entourage had to like pull him away and keep him going. And I guess at that point he went inside, saw young Knowa there, figured, oh boy, here's somebody I can win an argument against, right? If I can't win an argument against a 12-year-old, then obviously, something's wrong. And then he proceeded to get his ass proverbially handed to him by young Knowa there. I have no doubt that obviously, I had not heard of Knowa prior to this, but obviously he is a very big deal, being invited by the chairman of the DNC himself. This young man's career is going to surpass anything I could ever hope to do in my career. If he is already that good at 12, this is a guy to watch. This is a guy to pay attention to. Probably should all go follow him right now too. Incredibly smart. I cannot say enough kind words about him because I am blown away, not just by his knowledge, but by his quick reactions and his quick wit. I mean, hell, that is something that every single one of us that does this every day strives to have. And this young man comes around, blows those of us who've been doing it for 20 years out of the water. Absolutely bonkers there. But the point is, Mike Lindell promised us a couple weeks ago, he was going to go to the DNC. He was going to flip all these people over to Trump. Oh man, it was going to swing the election. He was going to convince them with the facts. He said he was going to show up there and present people with these items, this evidence that he has. And all he has, as Knowa points out, is trust me. At the very least, Mike, you could have at least printed out an article. You could have printed out the court ruling that you say existed from last week to show people like, oh, you think I'm full of crap? Look right here. It says right in this, I'll read my thing. But you couldn't even do that because it doesn't exist. Because nothing that you have claimed over the last 4 years exists. You have been proven wrong to the point where you now have to pay a guy $5 million for proving you wrong. And you think that you're going to win people over by walking up and yelling in their faces about things that are completely untrue. This is what the Republican Party is. The fact that this man has risen to prominence on the right shows you that this is what they are now. They're all a bunch of Mike Lindells running around acting like idiots. That is what the modern day Republican Party has become. No real facts. You just make things up. And in order to actually make your point to people, you just get in your face and yell your lies at them until they believe you or until you get out of breath and walk away. That is what the Republican Party stands for today. And Mike Lindell is the perfect example of that. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena, and Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.